Good morning, and thanks for being with me today. We'll take just a moment here, see if anybody gets on live or online and follows us live here. But thanks for joining me for the Power Up. If you're watching this later today, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do so. Hope and trust it's an encouragement and blessing to you. And it's been neat looking through the Psalms here and just the encouragement that we receive from the Psalms. Oh, it's been so good. It's been such a blessing. Want to remind you, don't forget church this evening at 6 o'clock. This is the final night of our elective classes, and so I encourage all of you to be back for it, and looking forward to finishing up our online classes here, not our online, our elective classes. Whoa, what's going on here? Our elective classes. And so thank you so much for being a part of those. It's been a tremendous summer in regards to our elective classes. Let's finish out strong. And then don't forget tomorrow, for those of you in the area here, we've got a funeral for Bud Corlew tomorrow, so I encourage you to be here for that. That'll be at 11 o'clock. The funeral will be, so you can come be a blessing to the family if at all possible. We're going to be in Psalm 31 today. Psalm 31, and probably looking at maybe the first couple of verses here this morning, and they're full of truth and full of encouragement. These first couple verses, so we'll see just how far we get. Look with me, Psalm 31, and then verse number 1. It says, "In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in Thy righteousness. Bow down Thine ear to me. Deliver me speedily. Be Thou my strong rock, for an house of defense to save me. For Thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for Thy name's sake, lead me and guide me." And so just there are probably at least three thoughts I want to share with you today. First of all, maybe four. First is this: we find who David puts his trust in. And this isn't the first time, the first psalm that we've seen this from David. In fact, we've seen it several times. And as we continue through this, we're going to see it more often where David says, "I put my trust in you, Lord." And this really speaks to David's humanity. And the fact that, life can be difficult and is a bit of a struggle. And from time to time, we may doubt the Lord. From time to time, we may fall away from the Lord. It's my prayer that we don't, but sometimes we do. And so David, hey, God, I put my trust in you. And then he says this. He says, let me never be ashamed. This right here kind of speaks to us, I think, in our world today as we consider our relationship with the Lord. It's so difficult sometimes living a life of confidence and courage for our Lord Jesus Christ. And truth be known, there are times maybe that we are ashamed. We would not say that we are. But just by our life decisions, sometimes it shows that we are just a little bit ashamed. And so it reminds me of the Apostle Paul in Romans, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ." Why? Because it is the power of God. And so we might not say it, but do our actions dictate that that's what we think? And so that's something to ponder. It says, and then David calls upon the Lord. He says, "Deliver me in Thy righteousness. Bow down Thine ear to me. Deliver me speedily." And so he's seeking to be delivered from a trial or difficulty that he finds himself in. He says, "Be Thou my strong rock, for an house of my defense to save me." And then he says this is great in verse number 3, "For Thou art my rock and my fortress." And so David says, God, You're my rock, You're my fortress, You're where I find protection, that's where I run to in time of trouble. And we know that, and David's asking for quick deliverance from this trial and difficulty that he finds himself in. And then he says this at the end of verse number 3, and this is so cool. He says, "Therefore, for Thy name's sake, lead me and guide me." David says, so that You can get the glory, God. You guide, You work in my life so that You can get the glory. And he's saying, God, deliver me from this trial, this difficulty. Yeah, speedily, but he says, so that you can get the glory. And this is what it means here when we talk about him not being ashamed. He wants to give God the glory for the victories in his life. And I trust that you and I want the same thing. Yes, we're going to go through great difficulty in our lives, but God will get us through it. Do we give God the glory for getting us through, for guiding us and leading us through the valley of the shadow of death, if you will, the valleys that we experience in our life? And so just a couple powerful thoughts for you today of who God is. Let's maintain putting our trust in him. Not that we lose our salvation, but sometimes we try to live life on our own, try to do it our own. Rather, let's remain faithful to the Lord, remembering who he is, what he has promised to do for us. And then, hey, at the end of the day, we live for his name's sake. We live for Jesus Christ. We represent Jesus to the world. And so let's be sure and live that out each and every day. Thanks for being with me today. Hope that was a blessing for you. Probably a little bit shorter, but this psalm here is packed full of nuggets of truth, and want to be able to share those with you each and every day. And so, hey, let's live for Jesus today. Let's bring glory to his name today, knowing God will guide us. He will lead us. Let's be willing to follow. Hope to see you tonight at church. Have a blessed day.